Hello, and welcome back to Go With The Flow. I'm your host, Shannon, and today I'm joined by Writing Center mentors Chris and Ava. This is our final episode of the season, so I want my guests, for the last time this year, to introduce themselves, share their major, and how long they've been here in the Writing Center. For Chris, because you're graduating, why don't you start us off and share what you'll be doing after graduation?
All right. Hi, my name is Chris. I've been at the Writing Center for 2 years, and my major is physics. After graduating, my major is going to be aerospace engineering, and I'll be getting my PhD.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, Ava?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ava. I am a music business major, and I have been at the Writing Center for 4 semesters now.
All right, and I, once again, am Shannon. I'm an English and secondary education major. This is my 4th semester at the Writing Center, and I'll be back next semester. So today we wanted to discuss something that we know is a really stressful but also exciting time of the year, finals season. So we decided that it might be a good idea to dedicate an episode to tips, tricks, and self-care advice to ensure your finals go as smoothly as possible so that you can finish the semester strong. So our first segment, I want to start by discussing favorite finals week stress relievers, just something a little bit laid back to start us off. So I want us each to go around and talk about habits or activities that we try to incorporate into our finals week that help us relieve stress. So for me, as an English major, my finals week consists mostly of long writing assignments, so I try to work in regular breaks during my writing time, even just like walking around my house for a few minutes to make sure I don't get really stiff while I'm at my laptop really helps me out. So Ava, why don't you start us off with this?
So, something that I like to do during finals week when I am preparing for all of my exams and finishing up my final projects, I do also like to take breaks. Usually during a break, I will change the room that I'm in. I'll go outside for a second if it's nice. I typically like to watch YouTube or listen to some good music and have a snack, get something to drink, just reset my brain, and then go back to my work when I feel ready. But taking breaks is super, super important for your focus and for your overall mood. And usually I like to have some chocolate.
Yeah, that's great. I think having a special snack is extremely helpful. So I think that's a really good stress reliever. Chris?
Okay. Well, for me, definitely the breaks is a big one. Something that I like. Generally, I'll leave my phone like out of my room when I'm studying because it removes the distraction. But something that I started doing was that I downloaded like a workout app, which it times like the intervals of your workouts. And instead of using it for workouts, I use it for study intervals. So I'll study for 45 minutes and then for 15 minutes I'll take a break. And that has caused me to be a lot more efficient just when it comes to ensuring that my mind is fresh regularly.
That's actually a really good tip that I haven't heard someone use a workout app to do. I know people use the 30-15-30 method a lot. So I think using the workout app, that's probably a really good tool to suggest to people. So that's awesome. For our next segment, we're going to discuss some general challenges. I know that finals week can feel like a whirlwind of final papers, projects, and exams. And I want to let our listeners know that it's entirely fair to feel stressed out and overwhelmed during finals week. That being said, I would like each of our mentors to share what they think is the most challenging part of finals week and how they deal with those challenges as a student. Chris, why don't you start us off for that part?
Well, I guess I'm going to take the obvious answer in the most challenging part of finals week is just the sheer amount of classes that are ending. So you're generally just going to get a lot more projects and things that are going to be higher effort, right? So you're dealing with a lot of different classes, final projects or final exams and all of that studying that you have to do. And the biggest challenge for me is just keeping all of that organized and together and making sure that I am choosing an efficient way to work on my homework.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think efficiency is key when it comes to finals. Like, even if you're working on multiple assignments at a time, you have to understand, like, when it's time to stop working on one and start working on another, and just making sure you have enough time for everything. Ava, do you have anything to add?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Chris said. I think one of the most challenging parts about final is time management because of the sheer amount of projects and papers that you might have going on at the same time. It is overwhelming to look at all of the projects that you have to do at once. I think it's very helpful to sort of make a list for yourself and break up the assignments by the deadlines or by how much progress you have on each of them. That'll definitely help with time management as well, but I would say that is the most challenging part for me because I try to divide up my work as best as I can. And yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming, but I think making lists is helpful.
Yeah, I liked what you said about dividing your workload by deadlines because obviously finals week can just be that week, but also, I mean, I personally have multiple classes where my finals are next week instead of the week after.
Yes, me too.
This is also filmed on May 1st, so that's why I'm saying next week. But I know like your finals can be dispersed weirdly. So yeah, I think definitely making a list and dividing your assignments by deadline is really, really helpful. I do that too. So for my next question, I want to discuss common struggles that we see students bring to the Writing Center specifically during this time of year, and how can you help students like combat those struggles? So like, for example, I think one big struggle that a lot of students have is like they feel really overwhelmed with the workload, and so it causes them to like push off work because it's somehow less stressful. I don't know. And so they come to the Writing Center needing a lot of help, but that's not always like the best course of action. So Chris, why don't you start us off with this, like common struggles that people bring to the Writing Center and how the Writing Center can help?
Okay, so some common struggles that I tend to see from students, especially like at the final stretch, is like not having an idea of what exactly the whatever final project or paper they have is actually asking for. And a lot of that can be solved by asking the teacher, you know, but sometimes the teacher will send them to us, you know, and we'll help them out with that. So after the teacher sends them to us, we'll help them out with anything that they might have confusion with regarding their assignments and everything. And usually students come out of the Writing Center feeling a lot better about their assignment.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think a lot of students, again, like get very stressed out during this time and maybe don't know how to approach certain assignments. And so their professor might direct them to the Writing Center because like we do offer help with brainstorming, outlining, things like that. Like you do not have to have a fully written essay to come visit the Writing Center. So keep that in mind while you revise your essays and such, like during finals week, and consider coming on to the Writing Center and visiting us. Ava, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say that the most common thing that I've seen with some of the students that I've worked with is having multiple papers at the same time that they have to be writing at the same time. That can be very confusing to keep your ideas separate and to keep like the direction that you want each paper to go separate from each other, especially when you have to do them at the same time. So something that can help is sort of doing a brain dump for one of the assignments at one time. So you can decide what you would like to talk about, or you can think about what the topic is for the first paper and then go ahead and just dump all of your ideas onto paper or onto a document and sort of go along with the rubric just to see what kind of information you need to include and take that one step at a time. And then you can do the same thing with the other paper for whatever topic that is or whatever class that's for. And that's usually one of the best ways to keep your ideas separate, especially, again, if you have to work on them at the same time. I find that really helpful. I know that it can be super overwhelming to be writing multiple papers at the same time, but just being organized and sort of tracking your progress with each of the papers is definitely helpful in, again, like time management and making sure that you are staying on track with the direction of the paper or the final project that the class is asking for.
Yes, and something else that I personally find helpful, like, again, I'm an English major. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 papers open on my laptop, like, right now. But something that I have found help me keep track of, like, those assignments and what I need to do for them is going into the rubric or the assignment sheet and, like, copy and pasting, like, the basic requirements of the paper and commenting them onto my paper. Like, so then it's easy for me to reference, like, this is exactly what I need for this paper, and it's, like, on the page, so then I don't get confused. I know some people will, like, copy and paste it into their paper. I just leave a comment, so then it's out of my way, but also still right there in case I need to reference it. So moving on to our next segment, we're going to discuss managing stress. So, Chris, what are some ways that students can manage stress as deadlines and assignments begin to pile up?
Okay, I'd consider myself a bit of a professional when it comes to managing stress.
Okay, period.
One of the sort of things that I live by would be the better the plan, the less stressful the situation is. And what that means specifically is the more planning that I have, the more I understand exactly what is going to be required of me in order to finish all of these things and at what time I need to get it done by, right? So it allows me to sort of not be overwhelmed as sorts. That's something I used to struggle with a lot when I was younger, was having a lot of things to do and being overwhelmed and just not knowing where to start. So that helps with stress. Also, I do like going on walks. I talked about like the workout app. It does like the timers every 45 minutes, 15 minutes. It does all of that automatically, so I don't have to manage the timers. And I just have that set for like 6 hours. And every 45 minutes, I go on a nice walk, even if it's like 1 a.m. And it's kind of scary to walk around at night, but but it's less scary than working on physics. so yeah, that helps with my stress management there.
Okay, so going off that, I know we already discussed like stress relievers that we all use or enjoy. But what is like another best strategy that you use to manage stress? Ava, why don't you start us off? I know you said you're bad at managing stress, but...
Okay, yeah. Thank you for calling me out. I am pretty bad at managing my own stress, but I am trying to get better with it. And I think that's just something that comes with time and practice. But this may be a little weird, but one of my favorite stress relievers is I have a Neato.
Mm.
Do you know what that is? Like the little stress toy? It's just like a squishy stress square. And I love it, and I use it a lot when I'm trying to focus on a big assignment or if I'm just trying to stay focused. So don't sleep on stress toys. I think they're great and they have more benefits than you may think. But yeah, I have a Neato and I use it religiously.
I think that's great. One of my professors, Dr. Vaughn, shout out to Dr. Vaughn if you're listening, hi. But she always brings like a bag with stress toys or stress toys, I guess, to class. And like her students are free to take them if they want. And I genuinely do believe that they help like thinking processes, help you to stay focused like during class, like just having something in your hands, especially if you have trouble staying focused or like staying awake. Like our class is 5 to 7:40, so it's a long class. It's in the evening. Everybody's exhausted. So I think like having one of those stress relieving toys is very helpful.
Yes.
So that's just one example.
Yeah, like a fidget toy.
Yes, that's what they're called, a fidget toy.
I just remembered what they're called.
I couldn't remember. But yeah, Dr. Vaughn keeps a lot of fidget toys, and it's wonderful. Chris, do you have a strategy that you would like to share other than like the walking?
Probably, I'd say like I go about my day pretty strategically when I have a lot to do, and I use specific activities in order to decrease my stress like strategically throughout my day as I work. So maybe in one break I'll take like a longer break and I'll eat food, or in another break I'll take a shower, and that'll help de-stress me a little bit. So I have a lot of different activities, but usually I don't really do anything big or specific. Working out helps a lot with stress. Yeah, it's a big stress remover.
Mm-hmm.
But besides, I don't really work out much during finals week because I don't have a lot of. That's the time when I have the least amount of time. So there's like, so I'm trying to get stuff done. I still do my daily push-ups. Those are always good.
Yeah, I think Allison said something similar last week about how when she was in grad school, she would do push-ups in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just to like get the body moving and like your brain refocused.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like an additional strategy that I enjoy is I like to read. So if I'm reading a book, like if I can make the time to like read a chapter or half a chapter, a couple pages, whatever, I will try to incorporate that in because it can give me like a time where I'm still working my brain because I'm reading, but I'm not overly focused on like difficult assignments. So it's a nice break. I also maybe like if I'm watching a show, I'll like watch one episode and then be like, get back to work. That's a good way to just like relax. Or like Chris was saying, on certain breaks I'll do certain things, like I'll have dinner, or I'll take a shower, or I'll go for a walk, like whatever it is that I need to do to get back on track. So now we are going to move on to our next segment, writing tips and avoiding burnout. So Chris, with all the writing so many students do, burnout is something that ends up being really hard to avoid. So how can students try to avoid burnout during final season? I know we've discussed like a lot of strategies that we personally use or have seen being used, but I think like we could probably share some insight on strategies like while you're actually in the midst of working that would help you like combat burnout at the very least.
I am already burned out at the moment, so I might not be the best person to ask about this, but I do know what is right, what I should be doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that is like probably the main thing that you should be focusing on in order to avoid burnout is sleep. Sleep is extremely important, and it's one of the things that I fail at so often.
Mm-hmm.
But on the days when I do decide that it is good to have a adequate amount of sleep, I'm talking more than 7 hours. Those days are usually very good days when it comes to the efficiency of how I get my work done. So anytime when you can get sleep or you feel that it fits into your schedule, definitely do your best not to use your phone before your bedtime in order to increase the quality of your sleep and just get your rest.
Yeah, I could not agree more. A good night's rest is essential to being able to get your work done and perform at the quality that you are capable of. Even during the day, if you have time for a 30-minute nap, which I think is the best length for a nap, I
think it's 20.
Yeah, 20.
Oh, 20-minute nap. Okay. Take a 20-minute nap in between studying if you have the time, because it can really benefit you and get you, back on track if you're feeling a little bit off. Ava, do you have anything to add?
Something that I do to avoid burnout when I'm actually working is trying to divide whatever project or assignment that I'm working on into smaller, more manageable parts. I think it's helpful to keep track of my progress in that way. Also, I tend to remind myself that any sort of progress that I make on a project or an assignment is progress nonetheless, and I'm just one step closer to finishing it. And another thing that I want to remind people is please take care of yourself. When you have the time to finally relax or step away from your laptop, make sure that you are getting adequate sleep, like Chris said, but take some time for yourself. Do something that you like, or you can drink lots of water, make sure that you're hydrated. That's also good for your brain and everything like that. But just take care of yourself when you're not working on something. Celebrate your wins, even if they're very small, and pat yourself on the back for the work that you are doing. It's very hard to be motivated, especially during finals week when there's so much going on. But just be proud of the work that you're doing and tell yourself that you're almost at the finish line and that you just have to keep pushing, and then you'll have your summer to relax and de-stress.
I love that. I think you worded that very well. I think like what you said about patting yourself on the back and celebrating small wins is so important, especially if you're taking a full course load and maybe in one of your classes you didn't get the grade that you really wanted, but in another class you did. And like, even though one thing didn't work out entirely, something else did. So you need to, be able to thank yourself, for all the hard work that you're putting in, because it is a lot of hard work to, be successful continuously. Now, we are going to move on to our final segment. Everybody's favorite segment, the word of the week.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so I'm going to give my guests a word, and they will guess the meaning of the word, and hopefully they will get it right. So, our word of the week is beltane.
Okay.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I sure can. Beltane marks the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice.
Okay.
Was that a definition?
Nope, that is a sentence.
Is
That is not the
I'm
definition.
supposed to tell you the
It's not a
definition.
You're telling me the definition.
Oh, I've done this before, guys. I don't know.
Wait, so it's not a definition. Can it be used in other ways? Like, what is...
Yes, it is. It is something.
Is it an
Okay.
adjective?
I mean...
Well, right? Is it? Oh, no, it's a noun. Sorry, I don't know why It's a
Okay.
noun.
Is this like...
Would you like the etymology?
Yes.
Beltane.
Yes, please.
Middle English,
Okay.
from the Scottish Gaelic, beltane.
Okay, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
Referencing May 1 or 2.
May 1, like as in today.
The date? So it's like a time.
Uh-huh.
Does it mean, just May specifically? Oh.
Well, that's not the definition.
I know,
But, so the first known use was in the 15th century in the meaning, if I give you the meaning, I'll tell you the definition.
Okay.
Is it like a word?
I have another sentence.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
okay, please.
Okay. Another element of beltane, which has grown more popular in recent years, is the lighting of beltane fires.
So,
Is it
of Beltane fires. Okay. Does it refer to... Is it some kind of, like, weather phenomenon? Can you give me that?
No.
Okay.
It's like a day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's today.
Is it like a solstice kind of thing?
It marks
It's
the...
between...
Yeah.
Oh.
So it marks the start of summer.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's like in ancient Celtic mythology, it like basically marks when the human world and the supernatural world become like intertwined.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it doesn't have anything to do with, like, if I was to give you a guess, like, it doesn't have anything to do with, like, the position of the sun or anything.
No. So it's like it's like an event. I thought, like, this is kind of hard, but I chose it because it's today.
Yeah. That's
Which,
awesome.
again, we're filming on May 1st, so this will be somewhat irrelevant when we post it, but
Yeah.
it is today.
May 1st. May the 1st be with you.
Do you guys give up?
Oh, I thought that was the
I
definition.
haven't even
Whoa.
guessed yet.
Well, I feel like I kind of did give you guys the definition.
I feel cheated.
Yeah,
Beltane?
I don't have
Okay,
a guess.
Okay, how does Beltane fires help?
It's just it's part of like the event that happens. Like
Oh.
I've said it's an event, but I haven't said like exactly like the word of like which it is called. You know what I mean?
So is it like a festival?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it's a
Wow.
festival.
Oh.
Good job.
Very good.
Chris.
It's the
Okay.
Celtic May Day Festival, and that is today. So, to the ancient Celts, May Day marked the start of summer and a critical time when the boundaries between the human and supernatural world were removed, requiring that people take special measures to protect themselves against enchantments. The Beltane Fire Festival originated in a summer ritual in which cattle were herded between two huge bonfires to protect them from evil and disease.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, so happy May Day, guys. Happy Beltane, I guess. I don't know if people say that, but that is today. Good job, guys. So now we are going to wrap it up. Before we close today's episode, I want to remind our listeners that the Writing Center is here to support you. You can book an appointment all the way through May 13th by visiting My Lewis and clicking the WC Online tab under Advising and Academic Support. You can also visit our online writing lab by going to lewisu.edu/writing center. Thank you to Chris and Ava for joining me in today's conversation and to our listeners for tuning in. Remember, keep writing, keep revising, and take care of yourself this finals week so that you can finish strong. This has been Go with the Flow. Until next time.